Do you think most girls are objective, or do you think they think they're hotter than they are? Or do they underrate themselves? Go around.
Personally, I think it depends on the person because growing up, I'm obviously not skinny. Hi, everyone, I'm not skinny. So growing up, I was never the beauty standard for anyone. So like all my friends were...
I was never the beauty standard for anyone. Okay, cool. So how do you rate yourself?
Getting chatted up by people, blah, 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 blah. And I was just the other one, you know? So like I never really thought of myself as... an attractive person. Like I would never call myself anything more than a 4. But now, like I don't really...
But now, so when I was a kid and I was realistic, I didn't give myself any more than a 4. Generous. But now...
care about what anyone thinks about me. Like I've grown into myself and I'm comfortable with who I am now that like, even if you guys call me delusional or whatever, I think I'm... maybe not a 10, let's not go that far, but like definitely an 8 per.
Oh, so you think you're an 8. Again, an 8 is like more attractive than 80% of the population. No, you're not. Sorry.
So like, whether you guys think I am or not.
It's not about like, okay. If you think you're attractive, but nobody else does, then you are delusional. You can't think that you're more attractive than you are and actually become that. You have to think, okay, I'm not that attractive. I'm overweight. I need to lose weight. I need to dress a certain way. I need to be caring about myself and my appearance. You can't just say, I'm super attractive and actually gain the attention of people that you want. You have to actually meet that standard. Ridiculous.
That's got nothing to do with her.
But like,
so what is it that took you from a 4 to an 8? If nothing's changed, what is it?
That's a great question. Nothing other than her own internal delusion.
loving myself and
brainwashing. Right. Okay. Yeah. Being brainwashed makes you less attractive, not more attractive.
looking in the mirror and not being disgusted at what I see.
I understand that, yeah.
So
okay, but that you've convinced yourself that you're attractive when you're not doesn't actually make you attractive, and that's why you're unable to get the guy that you want. So I don't know what to tell you.
But that doesn't, you're not necessarily being objective about how other people view you, right? Because isn't that what a rating really is? Like what you think the vast majority of people...
Like if I rated myself 1 to 10, I give myself a 5. I think I'm normal looking. And I just think it's based on my results. I think if I was an 8, 9, or 10, I would have had modeling contracts. Because people in the top 20% of beauty, they get modeling contracts.
But what is beauty? So
what is beauty? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But in general, a girl is beautiful when she's young and she doesn't, and she isn't overweight, and she has good facial genetics. Like that's, and I guess you could say she has a good waist to hip ratio, and like that's it, really. And models tend to be a little bit taller as well, although I personally find women that are shorter to be more attractive. But again, that depends. That varies from person to person.
What is beauty? I mean, there's a lot of things. Like if you, I mean, you can go online and have people rate your pictures, and they rank you 1 to 10.
That's wild.
And so you can get
What do you mean that's wild? That's literally what you do when you use social media. What do you mean that's wild? These girls talking like these things aren't real things, or like you can't find an objective rating for yourself. Utterly and totally ridiculous.
A lot of data that says how attractive you are in society, and men will rate you, women will rate you, like every day. How we look is like how we represent ourselves. It's not fun, but it's just like being honest. So and it's also like you can get dating apps to like, you know, everyone's Tinder, Bumble, like they have a ranking for you behind the scenes. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I trust.
So I don't understand when girls say like I'm an 8 because, or sometimes I hear girls say 10, because I hear this a lot where they say like, because I love myself and I'm like confident now. But don't you think attractiveness is based on results?
Attractiveness is definitely based on results. It's not based on how you feel about yourself. In fact, it's based on how other people feel about you. And convincing other people that you're attractive when you're not, like, it doesn't work. They're just going to avoid you, the people that you're interested in. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon channel. It's called the heliosblog at Gmail. Oh my god. Sorry guys, stumbling all over the place. It's early in the morning here. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just subscribe to any tier, any level of support is appreciated. Okay, let's continue.
They may be, but I don't care about those results.
Okay, so then you're going to end up 45 alone with cats and boxed wine if you don't care about results. You don't have infinite time like men. Okay, men don't have infinite time either, but they have way more time than you.
To be honest.
But do you think then you're not being objective about how attractive you are or how attractive anyone else might be?
I guess not, but yeah. That stuff's not really important to me.
Sure,
say.
yeah.
But I think when someone when someone rates somebody, why does that have anything to do with them? Like if someone rated like somebody a 3, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's your opinion. Like it's not.
Okay, that's true, but you're generalizing the opinion of one person to the entire population. That's not how that works. But, so one person can think you're a 3 when the general population thinks you're a 6 or 7, in which case you're a 6 or 7. If you ask 50 people or 100 people, or, you know, if you go over your lifetime of the sort of men you're able to attract and the kind of life you've had, you'll know what your attractiveness is, right? It's not one person's opinion. You're right. It's the general trend of opinions is what actually determines what your attractiveness is. It's the results that you've gotten.
Like a rating is not a fact, it's an opinion.
Well, one individual rating isn't.
Well, but
yeah, add up to a consensus. Maybe not a fact, but consensus.
Yeah, consensus, yeah.
Yeah, but I think, like, I have a group of friends, right? And when I walk into the room with the group of friends, I know immediately who's going to get the most attention from the guys. It's not me, right? I have, like, a friend who's, like, very, very attractive. And I know when I walk into a room with her, like, the guys talk to her first. Because, like, girls, you can kind of just feel it. But I almost wonder when I hear, like, and I hear this from girls a lot, like, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. If that's not, like, rooted in reality.
I believe that's called in the business a cope. They call themselves a 10 when the results are that of a 3, and they say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, believing that if they say that they love themselves enough, that they're going to get the results of a 10. Unfortunately not. If you want the results of a 10, you're going to have to put in the work of a 10. That's how life works.
Because attractiveness, like there's numbers behind it, whether it's just your results in the world or your dating app data or the type of guys you can get.
Look, and once she said this, crickets in the room. You see? These girls, like, and here's the thing. Here's what's funny. If a man had been saying exactly this, those girls would have all fought back. No, you're a bigot. You dislike women. You can't get laid. You're an M word. You're an A word. You're a loser. You're an S word. But when a girl is saying it, look at the difference. These girls don't want to look like hypocrites. They don't want to look like idiots. They don't want to look like losers. So instead, they choose to say nothing. And that says everything about our modern society. Who's more powerful, men or women? Right? Because when a girl is telling them the truth, like good girls, they shut up. Right? But when a man tells them the truth, they fight back, they push back, they're disagreeable, they're argumentative, they're annoying, they'll swear, they'll struggle, you see what I'm saying? So they're respectful towards women, but towards men, they're disrespectful. So who is getting better treatment in society? That says everything you need to know about whether we live in a patriarchy or a matriarchy.
Feels quite harsh, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough
It's not
conversation.
fun.
I think.
Like
not fun.
I don't enjoy like walking into a room and knowing everyone's gonna talk to my friend and not me. That's not fun.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be delusional if I walked into a room and I thought, wow, like they're all gonna talk to me first.
I think in addition to your point, men understand hierarchy.
I was just gonna say that.
So we understand that I'm a 4 because there are guys that are 5 and get this attention. Guys that are 6, they get that attention. 7 and so on and so forth. Whereas women, I don't want to say they live in a delusion sometimes, but it's a case of, well, because I believe I'm this, I am that. And I was going to speak about gender, but I thought, let me not, because there's a whole separate topic where people will go, oh, what is gender? And then, yeah,
let's not go into.
Right, it's subjectivity versus objectivity. What is actually true versus what I say that I believe. Well, if we don't live in objective reality, then we're going to have a bad time in the future, right? All right, here we go. This is an article by Rollo Tomasi. We're going to read a bit on this operative social conventions, okay? So again, this is the rational male, godfather of, well, you know. And if you're interested in reading his stuff, just look up the rational male, okay? This is on his blog. Often I'll be in the middle of some socio-psychological tear on a particular topic when I'll come to a dead halt because I play my own devil's advocate while I'm typing and reasoning aloud. And have to review and edit the paragraphs I spent the last 2 years constructing because I'd failed to consider how others might interpret my intent, or I'd overlooked some element and had to go back and address the issue, or at the very least have a source ready to cite for the most predictable rebuttals. Needless to say, it's an arduous process. However, I've found that starting topics in regards to certain theories and ideas I have to see what their intent will be, and how they will be read, helps me greatly. So with this in mind, I'm presenting a particular section of my work here to see what the consensus is on what I've come to call operative social conventions. I had originally titled the section Feminine Operative Social Conventions, and I may still go back to that, but after you read this, you'll see how these conventions need men to play along with them for them to exist in the first place. So I've reasoned. In the community, we've all become all too familiar with a standard set of problems that are commonly asked for us for advice. Should I date younger or older women, with or without children? What about women with money or a career, for example? So often are we petitioned for our take on these dilemmas that we have a tendency to repeat back a standard reply. I count myself among those who do this as well. I'm very prone to see the forest for the trees, so to speak, and fire back with my standard reply of spin more plates or next. And while these responses are novel to those reading them for the first time, and hopefully having their eyes open for the first time too, I'd come to realize that I was guilty of not seeing the forest with regards to why certain topics are more frequently reoccurring problems for the beta loser and the aspiring game student alike. For the most part, plate theory covers a multitude of loser sins, but my concerns was understanding why these questions come up so often and what their root cause is. To this effect, I've attempted to distill down the symptoms to the motivations behind them. This led me to a new theory of operative social conventions. I've posted on this blog about this stuff. So here they are. Shame. Perhaps the easiest and most recognizable form of social convention is shame. Not only this, but it's also the most easily employable and the most widely accepted. Not just by women of all ages and descriptions, but also by popular culture and the media. Examples: men should date women their age. Men shouldn't be so shallow as to put off single mothers as viable long-term mates. Men have fragile egos that need constant affirmation and almost infantile respect. Men feel threatened by successful women. As well as being popularized myths, all of these are subtle manipulations of shame. Each is an operative social convention that places a man into a position of having to live up to an idealized standard that simultaneously raises the standard for a woman, thus placing her in a better position of bedroom fun selection and in some instances leveling the perceived playing field with regard to the feminine competition dynamic. Okay, next. Selection position insurance. Examples. Women are allowed to understand men, but women must necessarily always be a mystery to men. Getting lucky with women when referring to bedroom fun. Selection position ensures methodologies revolve around fermenting the scarcity mentality in men. If the value can be inflated, the value can be increased, thus ensuring a controlling frame. This convention holds fast to the feminine mystique or feminine intuition mythology. So long as women remain unknowable, there becomes less motivation to try to understand them. In fact, this convention actively discourages any attempt to understand the feminine to the point that men have adopted it and parrot it back without being cognizant of it. Social escape clauses, a woman's prerogative. Example: women always have the prerogative to change their mind, men must be resolute. Proactive and reactive pseudo-friendship rejections. Let's just be friend rejections. I have a boyfriend. I'm not interested in a relationship right now rejections. Default female victimhood is another one. Escape clause conventions always offer an out to a woman and absolve her of or dramatically reduce her responsibility for personal accountability by means of social reinforcement. A lady of the night can complain of her self-degradation by men, but be completely blameless for her decisions to do so by virtue of his social conditions. And again, the perceived result of a male-controlled society. Okay. Bedroom fun competition sabotage. Example: she's a lady of the night, he's a guy that likes men, and subcommunications in the terminology, catty remarks, gossip, feminine communications, you know. So this convention is the reputation destroyer, and it's easy to observe this in the field. Since it also serves a woman's attention needs, it's among the most socially acceptable and widely flaunted. However, the foundations and latent purpose of this convention take some consideration to understand. When women employ gossip, it comes naturally since it's an emotional form of communication. But the purpose of it is meant to disqualify a personal bedroom fun competitor. In terms of female-to-female gossip, this satisfies the attention need, but when men are brought into this salaciousness, it becomes a qualification tool. By saying a woman is a lady of the night, the subcommunication is she sleeps with a lot of guys and is therefore ineligible as a candidate, deserving of a man's long-term provisioning capacity, due to her obvious inability to remain loyal to anyone, any individual. Gender role redefinition. Examples: masculinity is ridiculous and or negative with the potential for violent extremes. Men should get in touch with their feminine sides. Identification is false attraction. So it's the man who remains in touch with his masculine side, the guy who, despite all of pop culture denigrating and ridiculing his gender and the very aspects that make it a necessity, becomes a positive strength for society. And the guy that will endure and steadfastly resist the influences that want it to turn him into something it never intended. It's this guy and his confidence that women all over the world find irresistible. And in my opinion, this gender role redefinition thing, it's just a form of natural selection, right? So if you believe it, then you're selected out. He embodies the masculine arousal that the feminine has been seeking and they can't explain it. This is the ultimate meta bedroom fun test in bedroom fun selection, to discover and learn what it is to be positively masculine and remain so in a world that constantly berates his gender, that tells him he's poisoned by his testosterone while confirming the same masculine attributes as positive for women. That's right. So again, if you want to read more, it's on The Rational Male. All right, let's continue with this video here.
Yeah, let's not go into that, please.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
But I do think that women also understand hierarchy. It's just like in this day and age, because we've been exposed to what men want, we kind of understand like, oh, okay, that's not what men want, but I don't care because I'm never going to be that, you know?
But that's not true. That's the thing, right? Like, all women need to know that they can be attractive to men, right? You just need to be fit, feminine, cooperative, submissive, and bedroom fun loyal. You're not fit, and you're not cooperative, or maybe even not bedroom fun loyal, and so you're going to have a bad time, right? But if you knew the truth and actually acted according to the principles of the truth, then you'd be fine, and you have a chance to be happy as well. Okay, here, let's do a fake Tinder profile, then we'll go back to this video. Okay, so this is a 27-year-old girl. So again, these are fake. You can just Google them. But the point is there's a lot to learn even from the fake ones. So this girl, she likes poop jokes, can stay out late on a school night, and isn't afraid to talk politics on the first date. So already we see a red flag, which is the talking politics. It means she's disagreeable. So she's masculine. Also notice her age, 27. So now she's looking for a serious relationship, right? So she mentions can stay out late on a school night. She's trying to sound wholesome. Whereas this same girl at 18 to 23 is trying to sleep with Chad, or as many Chads as she can get. And about you, tolerates my poop jokes, right, so basically you're a beta male because you have to tolerate her. Doesn't take himself too seriously, again, same thing, and likes a healthy debate. Like, you see what I'm saying, guys? So what's the idea? I am an argumentative, belligerent, annoying woman, and you need to take it. That's what she's looking for. So this is 2022, guys. If she's older, she's looking for a slave. If she's younger, she's looking for a Chad. All right, back to the video.
Without money and clout, shall I say?
What do you guys think men want?
Kim Kardashian.
Body. Whoa, let's ask y'all that.
I want to hear, because you said.
I mean, yes, men do want an attractive girl who's physically fit. True. But that's not all.
That girls understand what men want. So I want to go like one by one. And do you think? What do you think men want?
No.
Honestly, one at a time. Sorry.
I couldn't tell you, because I feel like, again, I've never been in a relationship, but I've chatted to...
Wait. That's a red flag, guys. If a girl says she's never been in a relationship and she's relatively attractive, here's what it means. Doesn't mean she's never been in a relationship. She's trying to she's trying to imply that she's been a wholesome, a chaste girl this whole time. But no, that's not what she's been doing. She's been on dating apps. She's been on Instagram. She's been on Snapchat. She's been on Tinder, etc. And basically what she's doing is she's sleeping around with Chad. When a girl says that she hasn't been in a relationship, it means none of the Chads that she slept with have given her commitment. That's what it means. So this is 2022. The girls who are young and most attractive, they're not in relationships. They're just jumping from guy to guy to guy to guy, getting alpha widowed. That's what's happening, and ruining their ability to pair bond. That's 2022, guys.
If you guys, and it seems like, it's not even that I don't live up to their standards. I feel like I'm never what they want, and I'm like...
You see, she's describing that she's never what Chad wants.
Is it looks? Okay, apparently I checked that box, but they still don't want me. Is it personality?
Cool. So then you don't know what else is required. Feminine, friendly, submissive, cooperative, and bedroom fun loyal. If you're the kind of girl that uses Instagram, that uses dating apps, that uses Snapchat, etc., then the guy's not going to want to commit to you. If you have a million tattoos, by the way, guys, if you look carefully, you can spot one. Yeah. And she's conveniently wearing a long sleeve shirt too. Maybe she has a million tattoos. Like, again, guys aren't interested in girls that are masculine.
Yeah, you're cool, your vibes, but I don't want to wife you. Like, I don't get it. You say you want personality, but you still go and try and treat a girl like a hoe. And I know this is not all guys. I understand that. And maybe this is just the guys I attract. I don't know. No. The guys I attract, no. That's an attempt to deflect responsibility. It's not the guys I attract. Do you guys know, in biology, who is the selector in mammals? Like 99% of the time in all species, except including humans, women are the selectors. So here's what that means. When she says she, quote unquote, attracts loser men or bad men, it means she actively chooses those men and rejects other men. And look at how happy she is about it when she's thinking about it. You see? Look at her face. You see, guys? This is 2022. The girls are actively choosing Chad. And then when Chad doesn't want to commit because he's Chad, he has a million options, then she's surprised, gets rejected, except for bedroom fun, and then moves on to the next Chad. And on it goes. Meanwhile, the entire time she could have a relationship, but she chooses not to because she wants her chance at another Chad. I'm doing, but okay, cool. But I just feel like maybe society as a whole, not everyone, we do care a lot about looks, and I think that is a lot about
true.
Like the first,
number one.
It's very superficial. I think a lot of guys are very superficial. Again, not all guys. But
Chad is superficial, of course. But even Chad, if you were less attractive slightly, but you had all of the traits of a feminine, good woman, Chad might choose you over a more attractive girl.
A certain kind of guys, they just care more about looks.
Could I give you some advice in regards to like dealing with a guy that you're not sure where you stand with him, where he's saying like he might have sex with you, but he's not willing to commit to you, or he might, take you out on dates, or you might cook dinner for him, or you might take him on dates, whatever it is, but there's no commitment, there's no long-standing chance of a relationship, if you're dealing with that kind of situation, I think there's one sentence that would clear up the whole thing. Would you like to meet my dad? Bang.
What if you don't have a dad?
Yeah, what if you
Okay,
don't
fair
have-
enough. But would you like to meet my family? Would you like to meet my brother? Would you like to meet my mum? As soon as you take it there, I'm sorry, but there's an immediate decision that that partner has to make. Am I actually serious about this? Do I want to? Am I invested in this person enough to actually engage with their family?
Yeah.
So, and honestly, from the beginning, if you introduce your boyfriend, your fling, whatever it is, if you're trying to get commitment from them, if you introduce them to your family from the beginning, yeah, you can see how they engage with your family members.
Yeah.
Are they respectful?
Especially a male counterpart in the family.
Absolutely, because they can tell what that guy is up to.
But what if?
Right. And this was the old strategy, right? What happened is basically, I mean, the old strategy was arranged marriage, right? So the men in the family actually chose the partner, right? And maybe the girl was unhappy, but he was a good match, and they ended up actually staying in the relationship and having children and, you know, having a stable family. That was the old way. And it worked much better than modern times. But men are much better at telling if a guy is a good man than women. Women can be tricked by the guy's, by her own hypergamy, right? He's able to get other girls, and that's all I need, right? He's superior to me in everything, and he's able to get other girls. Sold, right? So there you go. All right, we're going to move on to the Reddit article here. Let's see what it says. My boyfriend thinks I'm overreacting when I point out when his friends are a little touchy with him in a friendly manner. So by the way, these are the guys that girls choose. You see? The guys that are able to get other girls. I, 20 female. You see what I'm saying? You see, she's 20, he's 20. Look at the guy that she chose. I'm in a private relationship, both agreed, with my boyfriend. He has a lot of friends. I don't, however, since we have decided to hide a relationship. I can't help but feel a little cautious around his friends who are women. One of them is naturally touchy, so with any of their own male friends, they act the same. When they sit down next to each other, she'll put a hand on his thigh when she's talking to him, put her arm around him in photos, and sometimes pick out things from his hair. Because I'm not touchy with anyone, if I were to do that even a casual way, my boyfriend would be on edge because it might look obvious to his friends we're dating, but he thinks it's okay for this particular girl to continue doing this because she does this with everyone and doesn't have any bad intentions. I also believe she doesn't. I don't want to impose any of my beliefs onto him, but I don't know how to talk to him about it without making myself look jealous or unreasonable and force unnecessary boundaries with his close friend. It wasn't my idea to hide the relationship. It was a mutual agreement due to my own personal circumstances. He's not the type of person to have a sneaky link. We're both extremely happy together. So again, who are these girls choosing? They're choosing the guy who has other options that other women are hanging on to, you know, mussing his hair, clearly interested in, the guy who she has to hide a relationship with, etc. You see what I'm saying? This is 2022. The guys that are average, they get nothing. The guys that are attractive, they get everything. All right. We're going to end the episode there. Again, if you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon channel with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And especially if you took the time out of your busy day to listen to the end of the video. I do really appreciate it. And I will see you next time.